But what about the crypto space? I mean, Elon Musk has brought so much attention to Bitcoin, but when you bring attention to a behemoth like Bitcoin, you also bring attention to other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum and Filecoin, which I know you guys haven't heard of. I mean, we've talked about it on the show before, and Cardano. We haven't mentioned this on the show either, but it's under the ticker ADA right here. That's a ticker. If any of you who don't know what a ticker is, that is the little symbol that says, like, for example, Apple is AAPL on the stock market. That's how you identify them. Now, in the cryptocurrency space, it's the same thing, except that it doesn't play with, our little monopoly money.
Right, and I'm a Cardano maximalist. A few of you have asked me about Cardano, and I've told you to get in before. It's raised a huge amount of capital over the past 2 weeks, but I still think it's got plenty of room to grow. It's a phenomenal project. It is a straight Ethereum competitor, and we can get to specifics of that later. But for now, I just kind of want to express how right now the times in the crypto space are very similar to the times in the 2017 bull run when Bitcoin touched 20K for the first time. And a lot of the patterns that I'm seeing now are very similar. And one of those patterns is that money starts trickling down from the higher market cap coins like Bitcoin and Ethereum to the medium market cap coins like Cardano, Link, Stellar, Luminon, to the smaller market cap coins. And with this waterfall trickle down effect, there's a very high, and this is not financial advice, you will lose a lot of money. There is a lot of probability that you will make some decent returns if you play your cards right and you follow those patterns. Because right now we are entering a bull market in the entire crypto sphere. If you have been living under a rock, then sorry, but crypto right now is booming, and it's mostly thanks to Elon Musk and Tesla investing into Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin had already been at a pretty high price. It was like around $32,000 to $38,000, but this solidified the future.
I mean, it shot up from its new high. I mean, like we hit a high on January 9th of 41,000, right? And somewhere around there. And then, it was coming down, and I even made a video about it, potentially crashing. The concerns about inflation weren't too high. And then we had this black swan event of Elon Musk suddenly like just having a revelation of how cryptocurrency might actually become the future, which is odd to think about, but it's also makes perfect sense in hindsight. And then we have this huge pump with them saying, hey, we actually reserved $1.5 billion of Bitcoin for our reserves for Tesla, setting the trend now for other companies. I mean, I know the CEO of Overstock, which is a company that sells, it's kind of like a competitor to Amazon, kind of. But the CEO of Overstock, he has a lot of Bitcoin. He's pro Bitcoin. I mean, Square, for example.
Square too, right? Yeah, Jack Dorsey is a huge fan of Bitcoin.
Which is Cash App, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's been shooting up lately. Oh, look, Bitcoin is at 45,000, down from 46. Maybe it's going to crash.
Buy the dip.
Buy the dip.
So what does this mean in regards to investment news? That this means, like, okay, we just had the Wall Street bets phenomena not too long ago, and that has kind of died down. So where is money going to now? Is it maybe going back to SPACs, kind of back to where we were at the beginning of this year? Or is it just going to start going to crypto? The two are probably very likely. But where can you make the most money? I believe crypto. If you play your cards right and you do some pretty good research, there's a lot of new innovation, especially this time around compared to 2017. There's a lot of issues that need to get resolved and a lot of projects out there trying to resolve those issues. I know right now with Ethereum, if you want to trade Ethereum tokens, that is projects that were developed on top of the Ethereum smart contract protocol, that right now is kind of expensive. So there's this thing called gas, which is what you pay for transactions to buy tokens that are Ethereum based. And that is one major issue. They are very expensive right now compared to times where markets were not as volatile. And so there are a lot of projects kind of targeting that issue right now, Cardano being one of them. And that is why I'm very bullish on Cardano, just because that is one major problem. So if you can just find cryptocurrencies that are solving a major problem nowadays that we're experiencing, then you can potentially make a lot of money. Why? Because the space is still so nascent. So if you can learn those way arounds faster and sooner than the grand majority of people, mind you, a lot of people are still not in the space, nor have any idea how to get into the space.
Yeah.
So if you can just put in that extra effort, right, that extra bit of research, there's a lot of resources out there, YouTube, Twitter, believe it or not. If you can just put in that extra effort, you can make some serious, serious cash. I'm not even kidding. I mean, I did not know anything back in 2017, and I made a buttload of money. Now, times are different. I'm a little more experienced, and there are more resources out there. And if I can do it, so can you. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities out there, is all I want to add.
Just to emphasize Elihu's point about how nascent or new this currency is there's an estimated 11% of Americans who currently own Bitcoin or hold Bitcoin. In 2021, over 100 million Bitcoin wallets with value now exist. Now, that's very low. I mean, when you think about a population of the world of 7 billion people, 100 million wallets, and 11% of America is starkingly low. And also, in regard to what Elihu talked about with gas and all this stuff about transactions, it's basically a transaction fee.
Yeah.
A transaction fee.
There
are transaction fees when you trade crypto, though, which is what you called gas.
Well, there's also transaction fees if you use a brokerage that doesn't rely on decentralization, like Binance or Bittrex or Coinbase. Coinbase's fees are ridiculous, but that's a different topic.
But most of these competitors are basically trying to balance or play against in a competitive landscape on who has the least fees, the most amount of use and efficiency in use, and basically holding the system together through the various servers around the world, and pretty much who can dominate. And Cardano looks like quite the competitor to, say, something like Ethereum. Elihu has mentioned before that it's even a competitor to Bitcoin.
It's more of a competitor to Ethereum. I mean, the founder is Charles Hoskinson, who was a co-founder of Ethereum along with Vitalik. But Vitalik fired him back in the day, and Charles Hoskinson started the Cardano project in order to kind of get back and make what he wanted Ethereum to be, which was what it currently is it's a way more decentralized protocol than what Ethereum is.